Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope you're sharing, watching and subscribing to my channel. If you have not, please do help me grow my channel. And in the meantime, I hope we're still adhering to the social distancing, washing our hands. We are not out of the woods. We are still holding our breath for that elusive vaccine to be found. Until then, we need to keep safe. So today, I'm just going to talk about what is happening in Nigeria. My beloved Nigeria, a country we all are hoping succeeds, because if it succeeds, it will carry Africa along. We also hope for the whole of Africa to succeed. But unfortunately, that's not where we are. What has brought me today, this video today, is what is going on with the EFCC acting chairman. For those of you who don't know, they are the agency that investigate fraud, a lot of criminal agency in Nigeria. And so sadly to read that after what is the allegation against him now, Magu, he is now being investigated. And what is quite mind-boggling to me is the obscene amount of money involved. At this stage, it's an allegation. He's not been charged with any offense yet. So I'm going to wait. I'm a lawyer. So of course, until he's been charged to court and there are documentary evidence to prove that this is the case against him. So it's allegedly at the moment. So it's at the investigative stage. Like I said, the amount of money is mind-boggling. It's insane. You can't comprehend it. How can a father deliberately want to continually bankrupt its own house? That's Africa. Generations, successive governments, they come and go, promise all sorts, but unfortunately nothing happens. We're back where we are. At this stage, I strongly believe we are under a spell. I don't know how we're going to break away from that. I do have a bit of an idea, but it requires collective efforts, willingness to let go. Because otherwise, there is no way we're going to get anywhere. It's a free-fall state that has no destination, no blueprint to actualize its full potentials. How can a nation, a continent so blessed with human resources, natural resources, and one human being or a set of individuals come and all they want to do is to bankrupt their own people economically? It saddens me to no end, and I'm sure most people feel that way. Well, some people. The sad thing is, you're never going to take this money to anywhere. Those property you acquire, you will end up sleeping in one property, and when you do sleep in your 10-bedroom properties with 5 bathrooms, you use one, and you sleep in 1 bedroom. And even in that, your king size, whatever size bed that they like to flaunt on social media, you only get to sleep on one side of the bed. At night, you roll over, and that's the end. How can you not see that your biggest legacy is leaving something for future generations? Why is it so hard for Africa to understand? I do not know. Why has greed eaten the soul of our leaders? That they have the attitude of may the devil care. And they use the most vulnerable to achieve their aim. We cry year in, year out. You send your children abroad. They flaunt. And there are millions abroad. Look, we can quit praying all you want. God will do it. You are still waiting for God to come down from heaven to do it? Wow. Like my niece reminded me, no, that's not going to happen, auntie. There is no God doing anything. And even if we do believe in God, that God is coming to do anything, He's giving us the free will. That's what the Bible tells us. So there is nothing God is coming to do. Those churches who pray year in, year out, tell you, don't worry, God is coming to do it. And we fold our hands and don't do anything. Some people will speak against it. You get into the system, you forget yourself. It's like it's a court. There must be something. How can there be not one person in any administration that wants to do anything good for its people? There has to be a stop. The craziest thing is, the recovered loot is then relooted. They keep the money to see an email, log in, the money is sitting in their account, it's not being invested to create jobs, for infrastructure, for good road, for hospitals, nothing. Just sitting in your account to show off. Look, we all need to do something. I know we're all speaking, we're all talking. I do not want to take away from Black Lives Matter because it does matter. We are tired of blaming colonialism, slave trade, without taking any meaningful action to change our narrative. Of course, those who are the perpetrators should be held accountable for what they have done. But the genesis of it all is our forefathers did collect money and sold our brothers and sisters. Maybe at some point we need to atone for the sins of our ancestors. Because you can't rationalize what is going on in Africa, in Nigeria. President upon president, no one. Design, we don't know, she's never going to face any court of law. And then we have this EFCC chairman. The sums of money. It gives me chills. Just speaking about it, it does give me chills. So, we need to do better. I can sit here and talk about it all day I want. Anyone, I'm open. Let us come together. What can we do? Maybe we give it a voice. We speak against it some more and really mean it. We do need a revolution. We cannot run away from it. It's either that or we go our separate ways. It's a complex country, not with all the tribalism issues. From the south to the north, to the east, to the west. Nothing to write home about. We can blame the north, they don't bring anything into the table. You that bring something to the table. What have you done with what you get? The governors. And the funny thing now, I'm now reading somewhere on social media. I don't know whether that is true. The current Attorney General, the son Attorney General of the Federation, who's bringing this allegation against Magoo, the son is now flaunting the wealth he's acquiring, the millions he's said to buy the Mercedes is riding, a young man. Oh, shame on you leaders, that your only legacy is that you bankrupt your nation. You stole from your nation. You did not leave anything for generations to come. You're letting your young generation, lost generations upon lost generations we are creating. That is your legacy. We need to go our separate ways. I sit and every time criticizing it. We need to come to a solution. Be it, how do we educate those who they are the only, we know our elections are awfully rigged. But however, when it counts, at least those who are going out to vote, to be able to tell them no one has your interests at heart. But if you tell them that we do have to offer something, an alternative that they will feed, because they prey on these people. 4 years will come, and then the next 4 years come and go. The next 4 years, they're sharing them one pack of rice, Indomie. But you're telling that person, is that what you want this person is going to do for the next 4 years? He's going to ask you, what have you given me? So we need to, first of all, invest in those people, no matter how little. Even if it's the small woman who is selling her bean cake on the road, her pure water, her granite, her corn, if we can empower those, me inclusive, so that they are not being bought with like Oliver, with tiny porridge. Whatever that spell, we no one can change our narrative. It's in our hands. We can blame everybody. We can, until we put our house together, then we can come back and ask for reparation of what is done to us. Until we put our house together, all those loans we get, that the terms are awfully unfair because it's a business loan. It's not a consumer loan. Shackles. Now we have China lending all Africans money. The terms, I don't even want to look at those terms. It cannot be favorable to Africans. So we go from one colonial master. We've left the human one. We are now bound in economic slavery. If it's not modern day slavery, it's economic slavery. All are our own doing. The only thing I wish for nations to help Africa to do, I know they've made the argument that if they don't take the money from them, they will still siphon the money, loot the money elsewhere. I cannot imagine Boris going to some nation to open a bank account in whatever name. The only thing nations can do for us, I know it's far-fetched, perhaps when they come, we are bound by law to carry out money laundering checks. Nations can do that for Africa. Because our leaders, they will continue to do that once you accept the money. Let it remain in Africa. Let them be forced to keep it in Africa. Whether they invest it, whether they do, but let it not be sitting outside when they've come to purchase homes in Chelsea and Kensington. Choices, ask questions. As a lawyer, I cannot even take any money without doing proper money laundering checks. Do that for us. You know what you can do. Ask questions. Whether they're coming, whatever form they've created, of course I know they're not going to come with their own name. They have people they're using to do this thing, commit this fraud, corruption, stealing money. Stop allowing them to clean up the money in your country. if you truly want to help Africa. I don't understand how people are so greedy, no willingness to change anything. If you're lucky, you live 80 years of age. If you die, you're going to be buried 6 foot under. And guess what? Our body will fertilize the earth for the living to survive, to keep living. How stupid can we then think that all that wealth is not going to take you anywhere? No one's come back to ever tell us what is happening in the afterlife. King Tut and the pharaohs, all they did to go to the afterlife, what did they do? Those things that they used to embalm their body, the embalmment, the really, really beautiful gold things are all stolen. Body people have decayed and fertilized the earth for the living to continue to live. It is the circle of life. How then can you not see? You need to do your part when you're on this earth, not at the expense of anybody. How much more your own people who trust you with everything. We don't understand what is going on in Africa as yet. The world is speeding to find alternative to fossil fuel. Resources are scarce. Oil is no longer selling at $150 per barrel. We haven't invested. We haven't created any job opportunity, no infrastructure, no education system. Everything is destroyed. So I don't know when we're going to wake up. It maddens me. It boils my heart. I want to see Africa, Nigeria, and other countries in Africa succeed in my lifetime. When I look at the music industry, the Afrobeat, it gives me a little bit of hope. I didn't know that Afrobeat will one day take over the world. People around the world will want to listen. But that was sheer grit. Those young musicians, they fought. They had the tenacity, the willingness. That's what our leaders are lacking. No true invention. Rather than I'm going to steal the money, do your work. May the devil care. Someday we will come together and stop stealing from ourselves. How many houses can you own? You own them. Planes. Look now, the world is grounded to a halt. No one is doing anything to go anywhere. What are you doing with those wealth you have acquired? At the end of the day, I strongly believe Nigerian, we need to go our separate way to succeed. We don't have to cohabit, we can coexist. But until then, we are not prepared for that. We don't have the economic and physical intelligence to understand that what is best for us. As one, let's try and pull together and make Nigeria, Africa as a continent work for the benefit of everybody. We have no one to blame. I do not blame anybody. At this point, we need to come together to change our narrative. Please share this video. Let's have discussions. Whatever, I'm open to hear what you have to say, what solutions is our country, our continent to make better. Be it you are in Africa, Nigeria, in diaspora, even if it's talking about it like I'm doing, it will get to somebody. Somebody will listen and want to make a change. Until next time, take care, keep safe, adhere to social distancing, wash those hands. Bye-bye.